Hi, welcome to Premier League Rundown, a show where we take a look at the opening betting values of the Premier League matches this week. Joining me now to preview the matches and to tell us where the best value lies is Mike Richardson, sportswriter and regular contributor to SBRForum. Hi, Mike.
Hello again, Natalie.
All right, let's get started with the first match of the weekend, starting Saturday, February the 9th, Tottenham versus Newcastle. Now, this is an interesting game here. Tottenham are the clear favourites with odds of 1.66 with Bet365. They won their last game to West Brom 1-0, but in their last 5 games, that's the only one they've won. Newcastle, on the other hand, won 3-2 to Chelsea. Tottenham are ahead in the league table by 18 points, so it seems clear that they would win here. What's your thoughts, Mike? What do you like here?
Well, this is very much a game of two halves, Natalie. I think looking at the old form and the league table, it would say it's all about Tottenham. Plus the fact that Tottenham, last time this fixture was played, put 5 past Newcastle and absolutely demolished them. However, Newcastle are the team in form. They put 3 past Chelsea and they have actually clocked up back-to-back victories for the first time in a very long time. Tottenham, they had to reduce West Brom to 10 men before they could beat them, and that was only by 1-0. So that actually points to an away victory. However, I think the bookies have called this one right. It's going to be a home win, it's going to be a Tottenham win, and if you want to make any money out of it, you better bet on the correct score rather than just a Tottenham victory.
And what would the correct score be?
Well, I have a funny feeling in my board that things have been going a little bit too good for Newcastle of late, and they're going to get a wake-up call, and they get a bit of a pasting. I think bet on maybe 3 or even 4 goals for Tottenham and 1 or maybe none at all for Newcastle.
All right, we'll see how that goes. Next match is Chelsea versus Wigan. Third from the top of the league take on third from the bottom. In the last 5 heads-to-heads spanning over 2 years, Wigan only managed a draw against the Blues, 1-1. Does Wigan have any hope here? And from a betting perspective, is there any good money to be made betting the favourites to win?
I'm liking Wigan are going to get a pasting, Natalie. I think the table tells you pretty much all you need to know about this game and who's going to come out on top. Fair enough, Chelsea have had a little bit of a bad run at late, and there's talk of dissent in the ranks, and obviously the Chelsea fans are turning against Rafa, even more so than when he first arrived. But I think Wigan, the table doesn't lie. They look like they're going to get relegated this season. It's going to be Chelsea, and once again Chelsea in this match. However, the bookies know that, and they've got a home victory at insubstantial odds. I think if you want to make any money from this one, you've got to pick the right score, or you've got to pick the correct goal scorer, or the first goal scorer rather. Chelsea have got an embarrassment of riches there, but some of my money's going on that man Frank Lampard to get on the score sheet.
Okay, let's move on to Norwich versus Fulham. Now, Norwich aren't doing that well this year. They had a chance to redeem themselves when they met with QPR 2 days ago. That didn't happen, with neither side scoring a goal. Last time these two met was in August, with Fulham creaming Norwich 5-0. Should we expect to see another outcome like this? What do you like, Mike?
Well, I can tell you, Natalie, that I like not betting on this game going to 5 goals. I don't think any of Mrs. Richardson's shoe fund is going to go on that sort of score. Not 5-0, not 4-1, not 3-2, not nothing like that. I think there's going to be a close and a low-scoring game. Pretty much the opposite of Chelsea v Wigan. I think you might as well toss a coin to find out who's going to win this game and what the score is going to be. The only thing is, I'd say stay away from a draw. Norwich have just had too many draws of late, and they've got to win or lose soon, and I think that's going to happen this coming Saturday against Fulham.
All right, interesting. Next match, Stoke versus Reading. Bet365 have Stoke as the favourites at 1.8. What do you like here?
I think I've got to go with the bookies again. Stoke at home against another side from low down the table. Yeah, it should be a home victory and quite a safe one. Not a high-scoring one. The Potters, when they're at home, well, in fact, the Potters, when they play anywhere, tend to not concede very many goals at all and usually just score 1 or 2 themselves. I think this game's going to end 1-0 to Stoke. But as an aside, I think it's worth betting on Reading to be relegated. Sorry, Reading.
Okay, moving on to Sunderland versus Arsenal match, where there's an 11-point lead by the Gunners. Sunderland are the clear underdogs at odds of 4 with Bet365. What are you going with here?
Now, I'm afraid it goes against my religion to bet on Sunderland winning, even against Arsenal at home. I do think that Arsenal are going to come out on top. Not so much because of the difference between Sunderland and Arsenal in the league, not even because of the history between these two sides, or the fact that Arsenal can consider themselves a big club and Sunderland less so. I think this game is going to be about Arsenal because Arsenal have got a real chance to make up some ground on the Chelseas and the Tottenham and the teams directly above them in the league. And I don't think they're going to have any mercy or any sympathy for a Sunderland side who are probably safe from relegation but are not going to have a very good season. I'm betting on Arsenal, and I'm betting on a 2-goal win, a 2-goal cushion for the Gunners in this game. So that's a 2-0 victory for Arsenal against Sunderland on Saturday.
All right then. Now let's move to the next match where Swansea take on QPR at Liberty Stadium. Last time these two teams met was in August again last year, and QPR got hammered with Swansea scoring 5 goals. A week before that though, QPR won 3-0 against the Swans. This year has been a little slow for them though. Swansea just can't seem to get the goals in. In their last 5 matches, they've only managed to net 3 goals, and that was scored in just 1 game against Stoke last month. QPR are the underdogs with odds of 4.5, but could sitting in last position give them the drive they need to pull this game off? What do you like here?
I'm betting on the underdogs in this one, Natalie. I think QPR are going to beat Swansea, and I think it's going to be a mean and a nasty and a gritty game. The sort of game that a team has to win if they're going to stand any chance of surviving in the Premier League and not being relegated. QPR under Harry Redknapp have done kind of all right, but just not good enough to survive so far. They've drawn too many games, and while it's always good to get at least a point from a game and not to concede goals and not to lose games, they need to start winning. And I would say they need to start winning right now, but they really needed to start winning last weekend. I think it's going to be a bit of a late push from QPR, but I think Swansea are going to be on the receiving end of a bit of a pasting. I'm going to go for 3-2 to Rangers in this one.
You know, Mike, I think I'm with you on that one. Now, last match of Saturday is Southampton versus Man City. Clear favourites here are Man City with odds from Bet365 of 1.53. They played a nail-biting game against Liverpool yesterday, 2-2, but overall City finished the stronger of the two sides. Does Southampton have a chance here? What do you like?
I think a team like Southampton, playing at home against anybody, they always have a chance. And they did, although they got beaten by Man City early on in the season, they gave a very good account of themselves. So, no, I just can't do it. It's going to be Man City all the way with this game. They're the defending champions. They know they can't afford to drop any points, especially after that draw at home against Liverpool. It's going to be Man City, and once again, Man City. Southampton are a plucky little side. I've got a lot of time for them, and I enjoy the City. However, I just don't think that Man City will show them any mercy whatsoever. They know they've got a job against Man United, and with Man United playing on Sunday, they've got a chance to close the gap. They're going to win, and they're going to score a lot of goals. I think this could be one of those 5-0 games.
Wow, 5-0. Well, I'm certainly with you with Man City there. Let's see on the goals. Now, moving on to Sunday's game. Sunday 10th, Aston Villa take on West Ham at Villa Park. Tough game to call. Bookies have a very close odds, with Aston Villa being the slight favourites with odds of 2.5. Now, last time they met in August, West Ham won 1-0. Time before that, the Villains won 2-1. Is this anyone's game? What are you liking here, Mike?
I think this is the very definition of anybody's game, Natalie. And I think if you're going to pick a winner, probably go for a very low score. And at 1-0 either way, that's, I think, I'm going to have a bet on both teams winning by that score. I'm going to stay away from a draw, though, because I think Aston Villa will do one of two things. They're going to get that all-important win because they're languishing in the relegation zone at present, and they need to get some points on the board. And West Ham is a sort of team they can beat, especially at home. Or Aston Villa are just going to go in an appalling tailspin and lose and be relegated. I think they could still well go down, but I don't think they're going to lose against West Ham this coming weekend. My money's going on an Aston Villa win, but it's a cautious bet because I do think this one is a very tight game.
All right, yes, could be anyone's game here. Now, the second and final game on Sunday is Man U versus Everton. Tabletopper Man U sit a comfortable 20 points above 5th place Everton. So no surprise that the bookies have a Man U as the favourites at odds of 1.66. Everton did beat Man U, however, in August last year, 1-0, and the game before that they drew 4-4. Both teams have come from a good last 3 games this year. Man U have won all 3. Everton drew their last but won the 2 before. Who are you siding with here, Mike? Where's the money in this game?
It's quite an obvious bet, this one, Natalie. It's going to be Man United. Everton are a good side. Everton are doing very well this season, but I think Manchester United regardless of what happens between City and Southampton on the Saturday, they'll know that their title, the Premier League title this year, is theirs to win or lose. And I don't think they're going to be dropping any points at Everton. They are ahead of Chelsea, they are ahead of City, and they are looking quite comfortable on top of the table. And the bookies definitely think that they're the hot favourite to win this, to win the Premier League this year. But I just can't see them slipping up. Not against Everton. I think if they drop points, it'll either be against a Manchester City, or it'll be one of those freakish games where they get beaten by Reading towards the end of the season, just to make things exciting. This game is going to be all about Man United, and that's where my money's going. In fact, I'm going to have Man United winning both halves as well.
Okay, and finally this brings us to the Monday game, Liverpool versus West Brom, playing on the 11th. Liverpool are only 2 points ahead of West Brom in the league table. West Brom played Tottenham at the Hawthorns on Sunday, which they lost 1-0. Now, there's a bit of controversy surrounding this match, which cost them their defender, Goran Popov, for spitting at a player from the opposition. In the news this morning, Glenn Johnson, Liverpool's right back, acted strongly to the incident, saying he should have got a stronger punishment than the standard 3-match suspension. Now, these two teams are meeting, minus Popov, of course. Will this affect the match, or have Liverpool got this one in the bag?
I think this match is far from the bag. I think we'll just touch on the spitting issue very briefly here. And I do think it's wrong for any player to behave in that sort of manner. But I think the FA reacted accordingly, and I think the 3-match ban is sufficient. So we can kind of draw a very nice line into that and move on to the actual football. I think it's going to be a home advantage is going to tip the scales in this one. West Brom are good. Liverpool are a little bit better, but at Anfield and with a chance of, winning a 6-pointer, I think this game should be all about Liverpool. If you want to get a bit creative, bet on a draw, but bet on a draw like 2-2, as Liverpool seem to be so keen on that and enjoyed that so much the weekend against Manchester City.
All right, Mike, thanks a lot for being here.
Pleasure as always, Natalie. See you next time.
See you next time. For SBRForum, I'm Natalie Rydström.